Hello, long time no see. I am terrible at long form content. Did have this idea though, because the problem with me and long form content is I don't have the capacity to like film all the time, especially for long periods of time, which is why short form works so much better for me, especially with the stage of life that we're in. I got 2 littles. I was sitting with my kids and I was like, you know what? It would be a really good idea. What if I just like filmed while I cooked supper? So it's like a FaceTime supper chat kind of vibe to it. So anyways, I think that's gonna be like a new thing here. The problem I have with long form content, I never know what I want to post. And I'm somebody who will only film what I'm doing. Like I'm not gonna film and pretend to like do things because I feel like that's disingenuous. And also I'm lazy. I don't got time for that. So I film what I'm already doing and already would be doing, and we just make content around it. Anyways, for supper today, I am going to garlicky, parmesan-y, like chicken little mini meatloaves. I'm gonna pair it with pasta and maybe some vegetables. Although, guys, look, I bought these the other day at the local farm market and they're already like this dark green, like rotting color. So let's get started. This year I was diagnosed with ADHD, which I guess is not that much of a surprise to me. I always figured my brain is a little whack of just the amount of insane 1,000-mile thoughts that I have and the amount that I get distracted and I can't remember things. I'm constantly losing keys. I'm constantly losing like my wallet or my license or my debit card. I'm constantly misplacing everything. I feel like if I put something down, it just becomes not clutter, but just like it blends into my surroundings. So then when I'm looking for something, I can't really find it again. Ew. Okay, change plans. We're tossing this. This thing stinks. I'm gonna make like a chicken. No, it's a lot of work. Chicken, orzo. I have all that, right? Yeah. Broccoli, chicken, creamy, parmesan-y orzo. Chop your veggies. It is so much easier in the kitchen if you have a sharp blade. My blades are the Pioneer Woman set, nothing fancy. Someday I want to get like a really fancy Japanese knife set because they're just really good quality. I'm just kind of a home chef. Okay, that's speaking way too highly of myself. I love cooking. I would not say I'm a home chef. I am, because I'm not deep diving. I don't have the time to like deep dive into like culinary arts. My mother is an amazing cook. My mother, if you know me in real life and you know my mom in real life and you've had her cooking, they can attest. My mother is the ultimate cook. She can whip up anything from anything. And a lot of things I have learned from her. Anyways, I love being in the kitchen. I wish I had more time for it, but with the littles, like right now they're watching Little Bear and we're not an anti-screen family. I am a mindful screen family. I don't know what that notification is. I call myself a rustic home chef. Like I get what the food on the table, I get it to be as nutritional as possible, sometimes cheating because you can't always be 100% crunchy all the time. I mean, all this is like store-bought produce. I was trying to grow beets, but you know, my husband's kind of in the doghouse because he mowed the lawn the other day. The previous owners before us left a lot of weird stuff around the property, and apparently there was like a paving brick or something. This man threw a brick on top of my beets, and I texted him today. I said, my freaking beets, bro, you threw a brick on my freaking beets. They're dead now because you crushed them to death. How do you, like, I don't know, how do you not see there's plants in a grow bag? Yeah, to the trash. I'm gonna have to work somewhat fast because my 9-month-old will not be happy with me if I take forever and just leave him in there kind of thing. And also, what time is it? My husband should be home soon, so don't be awkward. I hate filming around my husband. If you cut like little slits along the thing without going the whole way through and you cut it sideways, it makes perfectly chopped onions. The other thing to this is my husband does not like onions, hates them. So I have to sneak them into a lot of the dishes I make. He says he doesn't mind the flavor of them, it's just like the texture and consistency of them, which is, to me is weird, but like whatever. Seeing like all the stinking recalls there are lately though, like between cheese and like the berries being poisonous and I don't know, what's the recent thing? Oh, the avocado oil. Okay, we try to avoid seed oils as much as possible here. I will pay an arm and a leg for like the Siete chips and Boulder's chips. We love Boulder's chips. then come to find out, half of them don't even have 100% avocado oil like their marketing states. I don't even know how that's legal. Guys, gotta go take care of a baby. Okay, I'm back and we have a little guest now. So I'm 27 years old and I'm just now discovering kind of more so like my passions in life. I used to think I wanted to be like some medical field. Like I really wanted to be a medical SLP. I wanted to do swallowing and work with dysphagia and work with like stroke rehabilitation, like that kind of stuff. And I do like kind of have a heart for it still. I just don't have a heart for the stress of it all. And so I didn't go finish my master's, but I did finish my bachelor's. I really enjoy agriculture, which is not that bizarre if you know me and like my upbringing. Like my family didn't like farm or garden or any of that, but I had relatives who did. I have my grandparents who have always had a garden ever since I was a little girl, and I have very fond memories of snapping beans. But I also had an aunt and uncle who lived in the middle of nowhere, and honestly I wish I could live in the middle of nowhere as well, but alas, we're here. Growing up, they had chickens and like they had goats and, you know, like ducks, I think at one point even rabbits, honestly. They had this life, and anytime I went up there as a little girl, I would help do feeding in the morning, like doing morning chores with them, and it was like the best thing ever. I mean, they even had a horse, and I used to be a horse girl. I used to do horseback riding. So I think that really influenced me, and I don't know, it was just a really good memory of my childhood. And I like realized homesteading is kind of a thing because they were very much born of the 70s back to nature type of programming. As I've gotten older, I've really gotten into a lot of that stuff, and I actually have discovered I have a big passion for agriculture, specifically like the food industry, and just like self-sustainability and growing things. Not that I'm good at it. Just preface that there. I'm not good at it yet. Someday I will be good at it. We're just in the learning stages of the ins and outs of everything. Not to be like a tree-loving hippie, but I kind of am a tree-loving hippie where I'm like, no, our environment matters, what we put in our bodies matter, and what we put on the food that we put in our bodies matters. And we should honor the beautiful things that God has given us and steward them well. And then you get into the whole like, well, everything has glyphosate, everything has herbicides and pesticides. Even if you're an organic gardener like I am, where I will not use things that are inorganic. I've had issues. We have a cornfield right by our house, and they rotate between soy and corn every year, and I have an issue with them spraying, and then I get herbicide drift in my garden, and then I've also had issues of like fungicide and pesticide spraying in July. They usually do it by a helicopter, which is super irritating, and I can't figure out who owns the property, so I could talk to them and just ask what they're spraying. Not that I can stop them from doing it, but I would like to know what's going there so I know for my garden's sake, because I don't feel like there's nothing more frustrating than playing this guessing game of like, well, what was just sprayed on my garden because people don't want to adhere to federal standards of drift and all that stuff like that. Anyways, all that to say, I really would love to have more property so I could be more self-sustainable. But I have this dream, and maybe this dream is like, I don't know if it's like a God thing that got placed on my heart recently, but or I just know from experience. So we are a low-income family, and that does not equal poverty. I think a lot of people equate being low income to poverty, and then they get mad when I say I'm low income because they're like, well, you have this, you have that, you have land, you have a backyard. I don't really have land. I have less than half an acre. It really sucks to not be able to afford the higher quality food items I would love to afford. We have raw milk by us. We're very blessed with a regenerative agricultural farm. I would love to buy from them. They're non-GMO feed, non-soy feed, like they do grass fed, like it would be great. It is so out of our budget. I can't afford it. And it sucks because I so badly want to afford it. Another thing too is like food insecurity is a thing. Not that we have ever really gone without, but there has been months where it's like these things are really tight. Let's put some more beans in the ground beef, or let's just do a meatless meal to get by kind of thing. I have this vision or dream of opening up a working teaching farm, teaching people self-sustainability skills, teaching that, but then also teaching people like what real food is and like where real food comes from. But I also want to make it like this charity organization that helps combat food insecurity in our county. I just think that would be great. Unfortunately, I don't really have the means to do that right now. I also want to make it an herbal farm because I think herbalism is such a cool, interesting thing, and there's just, plants are amazing. They can do so many things for us. Western medicine will tell you what it can't do, but they're usually wrong. My main thing is just because you're low income does not mean that doesn't mean that you should be destined to like really low quality junk food and all that stuff. I think people are really hooked on junk food because it's so cheap, and that there's a reason that's so cheap. Ow. Big hot oil. Ow. Like I said, we just throw whatever in the pot. Just some good old Italian seasoning. While that is simmering, I am going, what was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna shred the cheddar I'm gonna put in it. Let's do that. All right, cheddar. I feel like it's just such a crock to put young teens who really have no experience in the world, don't really know themselves, and decide, hey, let's go to college, spend a crap ton of money. I'm not, okay, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying college is not valuable. I think college is valuable if you are for certain on what you want to do. I thought I was for certain, and then I realized I don't like this. And when I was a sophomore in college, I wanted to drop out, but my family was like, no, you can't drop out. Part of it was because I was also getting married because I met my husband. To listen to what I wanted to do, because guess who's footing that bill? Me, not them. Because if I would have known how much I love like what I'm doing and homesteading and just like learning about all the different things, I probably would have done like FFA when I was in high school and gotten really into like 4-H stuff, and I probably would have started my own like agricultural business. Don't know what that would have been, but it would have been something cool. The American food system funds the American healthcare system. If you know, you know. So I'm just shredding. I am shredding about 2 cups of cheddar, 3:30-ish, 3:36. We eat supper so early here, and it's because my husband gets home around 4 and he's just starving, the poor man. He is an electrician. Blue collar wives represent. Some days he's home, other days he's not home. It's gotten better. When we were first married, this man, I don't know how he did it. Lord bless him. We've been married 5 years now, for reference. We just had our first child. So I was home on maternity leave at the time. I also ran like an in-home daycare type of situation, which I really did not love. Like I love the kids, but it was such an underpaid job for the amount of work and how much work kids are. When we first were starting out, we had no money. I think when we first got married, my husband was making $12 an hour as an electrical apprentice. We got married in 2021. Super tight budget. Everything cost so much money, as you guys know how life goes. But my husband, because he was an apprentice, his employer paid for his like trade school and the schooling that he needed to be an electrician. Would work. He would go to work at 6, leave here at 6. I think start work around 7. Get home around 4. Have an hour that he could eat, and then he had to be out the door by 5 because he had to go down to classes, and the classes were a night class that were 3 hours long, and it was like 2-3 times a week. It was awful. I don't know how he managed it. He wouldn't get home till 9 p.m. Poor man, absolutely dead dog tired. Pouring that entire box of orzo in here, and hopefully, let's see what I'm doing. So mixing it in, and then I'm gonna put a lid on it. And let this simmer. We're gonna add in some cream. I always find anything with orzo is so simple to make, so easy. It's like a one-pot type of meal. You know how I was just talking about how awful our food system is? Well, here is my Diet Dr. Pepper. I used to do lattes in the afternoon. However, I realized how many calories are in the lattes I was making, so we cut that back and we're doing 0 calorie, technically 0 sugar. I try to be crunchy, so really I'm scrunchy. Sort of crunchy, scrunchy. And honestly, this has helped me lose a lot of baby weight. So I want to say it's a lack of discipline, but honestly it's not. It's just I don't have the capacity right now to be going so hard in the gym all the time. I've come from a background of like a lot of legalism and just different things like that. So the idea of like always being disciplined, always pushing myself, unfortunately for me, I am the opposite. Like I feel like a lot of people do need to be pushed and do need to be disciplined. However, with my circumstance, I am so hard on myself, like in my brain and mentally and just with everything I do, that I am learning I actually have to show myself like self-compassion and just be chill. But I cringe at saying self-compassion because it kind of sounds liberal, but I'm not nice to myself. I need to be nice to myself. This is why you don't walk away from your pot, because look, scorched it. Dang it. No, go away. Go away. Go away. Okay, gonna add cheese. Get some half and half. Salt. See what we think. Aha, you coughing? Smells good. It tastes like broccoli cheddar soup, but like with orzo pasta. It's really good. I mean, come on. Like, does this not look good? Maybe it doesn't look good to you. It looks pretty good to me. Why do I? Oh, I have a fork in there. Anyways, thanks for cooking with me and letting me yap while I cooked. I think I'm gonna do this format more often, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop. Bye.